Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Angela, the Traveling Crafter, and this is going to be a day of experimentation. So, let me tell you, first of all, hello everybody, and if you are new to the channel, welcome back. We are just going to experiment. We're going to have a little conversation, and at the end of 2024, I told you one of the things that I wanted to do was to field your questions on either on the Makers Market when I was live and answer the questions that you post on my videos. So please ask questions, make statements, give me your advice. I want to be able to share it. And today I'm promising that I am going to do that. I'm also going to ask for your opinion on something not related to anything crafty at all, but it is an experience, if you will, that Demi and I had the other day when we were out and about. And I just want to know if anybody else feels like I do about this. So that is what we're going to do. But at the end of the year, I went through all of my, I have, well, 3. You know those like locker baskets, wire baskets? 2 of them are up really high on the second shelf, which I cannot reach. So I went and got all of my projects. So there's 2 of them up there that I had. They're just ideas. So I put things together and I'm like, okay, I want to do this. Sometimes I write little notes like, oh, you could do this. Sometimes, most of all, I put nothing. I just stick the item in there. And then I'm like, what was I going to do with this? And then I have one that sits on my desk that has like at least 10 projects, probably more, that I can then just do when I have time. And that way I can bring you more content. And most of them are very random. Well, one of the things that was in my project box when I cleaned those 2 up high out was this envelope system. Now, I have no idea where I got this. If I had to guess, it was at a thrift store. If I also had to guess, it was probably in with some other things, because I don't think I would just buy this, although, you know, it's fun. But it is a Dave Ramsey envelope, and it's for your budget. Now, instead of me probably decorating this, I probably should use it as it's intended. If Dave's watching, he probably doesn't need to comment on that. But at any rate, I thought it was kind of cute. So I thought, let's see what happens if now, probably the easier method would be just to collage this. I don't think you want to watch me collage this whole thing. But my thought was, this is pretty cool, and it could be used for, you know, I could use it if I wanted, stick it in my purse and put receipts in it. However, I carry just like a little Lululemon crossbody thing, so probably not going to go in there. But I thought it would also be cute as, you know, you could use it as a traveler's notebook and you could write on it. You could, you know, put all your little receipts and tickets if you're on the road. You could, you know, have it oriented in a portrait, or you could do landscape. So what I did is I decided we're going to try this, and I don't know how long it will take, so we're just going to go for it. But if I just covered this to see what it would turn out like. Now, my guess is it's going to be real thick by the time I get done with it, but we're going to do it anyway. So let me show you how I did this. We're going to embrace the coil bound. And so everything that I measured to kind of go just a little bit below this. Now, how well I measured, I'm not really sure, but I did it. So I did 4 pieces, 2 for the front cover, 2 for the back. All I did when I was measuring this, let me show you. I have them here. Okay, so these are the ones that we're going to use for the front and the back, okay? All I did was I took 12 by 12 paper, and I essentially just, I'm just going to show you with my leftovers. I just kind of butted it up here, made sure it was even. I laid it down. I made sure that I couldn't see the paper through those little holes. Traced around it. You know, I made sure it was even and cut it out. It was that easy. Same thing for the flap, which this is where it's going to get a little tricky and probably a little thick. I could have done it different, but I wanted it to be kind of streamlined. So I did the same thing with the flap, and I just did it as one piece. So I made sure you couldn't see the paper on this side. I laid it out, and then I traced around one of them and then cut them all out. So I can assure you they're probably not all even. And finally, I did the same thing, and here I'd made a template. There was the envelope, there was this piece right here, and then that one I just did, you know, freehand. But this one also, I can already see, because I cheated, I didn't want to cut them all out separate, so I'm going to have to do some work on these when I do them, but these are the ones that go in here. So we're going to try this out and just see what it turns out like and how thick this is. So if you guys have done something like this before, let me know. Now, I have done, let me grab it. I did this with my, which kind of fell to the wayside halfway through the year. But I did the same thing with this. This is all wallpaper. We did this on a Wallpaper Wednesday. And then these were the Tag Your Turns from Carrie the Paper Monkey. And then I started to do some pockets later, so I kind of switched it out. But these were all pockets, and then I made tags for each. I was doing them for each month with my goals. And so I still have a bunch that I need to finish. So I am going to, this is on my to-do list, and I am going to keep working on it this year. With my goals, because I had not done my, well, I still haven't done my goals for 2025. Hopefully by the time that this actually airs, I will have done that. But as of right now, I have not. So we're going to finish that big spiral one. And this one, I covered each page, and it's still pretty good. Like, it's not too bulky. So my hope is maybe that will happen with this, but a little less talking, a little more doing. So we need to decide which one we want on the front. I kind of like this red. So I think I'm just going to slap that baby on. And you know what? Should I try? All right, so let's do this as neatly as possible so we don't make a huge mess. And we're just going to get started. And this is the reason that I have more things for us to talk about, because I'm sure you just don't want to watch me gluing stuff on. All right, let me tell you a little story. Some time ago, back at the end of last year, Demi and I had a girls' day. We went thrifting. What else did we do? I don't remember. We just did a bunch of little things. And while we were out and about, we decided we would get food. Now, I don't normally, I've been eating healthy since about September, very healthy. And I don't go to a lot of fast food restaurants anyway. But she said, how about Chick-fil-A? Also, no. Was it? Yeah, Chick-fil-A. I'm going to trim this off where I can see it here, because I told you it probably wasn't going to be even. Not a big fan of Chick-fil-A, but she loves it. So does Landon. So I said, fine. Okay. We go to the drive-thru. It's pretty darn quick, I have to say. And she orders I don't know what it's called there. I'm just going to call it chicken nuggies meal. So it comes with, I think it came with fries and a drink. I ordered a salad. A salad, a basic salad. You know, their salads are good size. In fact, it lasted for I had it for 2 meals. So, okay, I got more bang for my buck, right? And it had grilled spicy chicken on it. That was it. $30 for 2 of us to eat at Chick-fil-A. I am not exaggerating one bit. I don't know how it turned out to be $30. That seems ridiculous to me, but it was $30. And the gal gave us the total, and I'm like, $30, Demi? You got to be kidding me. She just giggled about it, and I'm like, oh my Lord. What in the heck? I mean, is this normal at all fast food restaurants? I know that, inflation has been horrible and blah, blah, blah. But goodness gracious. I'm like, Demi, we better, those chicken nuggets and that salad better taste like $1 million, because that is ridiculous. My goodness. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being extra, but does anybody else experience that? I mean, that was 2 of us. What if I wanted to take the whole family out to a fast food restaurant? I may as well go to a, fine dining restaurant and have the whole experience, right? So that's my vent for today. And I just want to know from the masses, am I over exaggerating? Is it just me? It probably is just me, but that just seemed a little extreme. And is that just the acceptable way these days, I guess? I don't know. Crazy. Oh, well, we're making good headway. I'm like, for a piece, I don't even like Chick-fil-A. Now, I will tell you my guilty pleasure. And some of you are going to say, ugh. Well, my favorite fast food restaurant, which we do not have any of in the Midwest any longer. So all of you that live on the West Coast or Wyoming, I know they have them in Wyoming, is Taco Time. My very favorite. So I wouldn't care how much it cost. I would pay the money, which then leads me to the, those who love Chick-fil-A as much as they do, they don't care how much it costs because they love their chicken. I get it, but I wouldn't care. I would pay whatever I needed to pay. I would have that stuff delivered to my house if I could, right here in Iowa. I'm gonna round these edges, I think, corners. But my guilty pleasure, if I am going to have fast food, I'm just a McDonald's kind of girl. I like the double cheeseburger. McDonald's fries are my very favorite. I also like a Big Mac. However, I'm not a big fan of all the bread, so I end up picking off half the bread. But, there's that. So, there you go. Now you know my secrets, my dirty little secret. If I really had the urge to go to a fast food restaurant, it would probably be there. Or maybe Taco Bell. Nothing like Taco Time, but, it's second best. Okay, so far, that looks pretty darn cute. Now, I feel like for this first one, I want to do the inside, because I really think I jacked these up quite stunningly. Do you see how wonky that is? So I'm just going to try this on here and see wow. So I'm almost thinking, let's do this. Here's how we can make this better. I'm going to stick this all the way down, and I want to make sure that it doesn't show across here. And I'm going to take my pencil, my vintage pencil I just found in a haul that I got recently. It was in with a vintage Yahtzee game, and I'm kind of loving this pencil. All right, let's see if I can rectify the problemo. Yeah, so note, friends, don't go try to save a little bit of time and cut like 100, not 100, I don't know. There were 8 of these at once, because it doesn't work. All right, now let's see if I fix this sort of-ish. That's pretty stinking good. Okay, so before I put this down, let's fix a couple of these other ones. One at a time, if you will. While we're doing that, let me see if I can do 2 things at once. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the comments on the videos that I've had lately. And this is, I'm not doing this in real time. So, if you've posted recently, be patient. I promise they will come up. I posted a haul where I got some a Sesame Street game, and a Wizard of Oz game. And you guys really enjoyed that haul. I think there's a lot to be said about the nostalgia of those games from a lot of our past, right? I'm going to use this one as my... That still looks wonky, but... Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do the one that I did because it's just hard to see a little bit. But Garden said, I loved her comment. She said, you got a lot of good items there. Sesame Street Journal, yes. I would love to see your ideas. I'm using a retro paper 70s pack, but 80s is cool too to create random Sesame Street ephemera. So Gardens, if you're on the Makers Market, please post. I'd love to see what you're doing, and I'm sure others will too. If you're not familiar with the Makers Market, it is district.net/makersmarket. See, I can't cut and talk at the same time, apparently. And in the show and tell, you can post all of your fun things you're working on. So she said, and mice cards for a mouse journal are so adorable. Have fun. On another note, Sandy Wilhelmina, if you're watching, you asked me about some of those mouse cards. And yes, indeed, I will get some of those in your pity paws for your project. Problem? I don't know where they are at the moment. But I will find them. I was getting ready for a couple of live sales, and I'm like, okay, I need to look for those while I am getting ready, and I do not know where I put them. But they will turn up. They always do. I'm sure they're in a very good spot in my sale items. So sorry. I'm so sorry we have to do this, but this is what happens. Now, as my father would say, measure twice, cut once, although don't cut 8 of them in a row. So thank you, Gardens, for that. I look forward to seeing what you're going to create. Let's see. What other comments? It keeps going blank there. Oh, Monif. Where is yours? I loved your comments on getting the musty smell out of books. And that is an oldie but a goodie. If you haven't seen that, it is on my playlist. Just Google Traveling Crafter, getting the musty smell out of books and ephemera. It is a Why Not Wednesday. It was when I just did little this and that a couple years, 2 or 3 years ago. Oh, gosh darn it. And Monif, she knocked it out of the park. She wrote down each one of the methods and which one she liked from numbers 1 through 6. Her favorite were, she rated them from most pleasing to least pleasing. And she said soda and fabric sheets. Second would be the Pet Fresh only. She said that was a close first for her. So the ways that I showed on there that you can do this is soda and fabric sheets, the Pet Fresh. I tested them all and to see which ones I liked the best. And the soda only, that one works. It just is not, it takes a little bit longer. And when she says soda, she's talking about baking soda. The baking soda and the cat litter, and I'll tell you what I ended up with my concoction. Then she said fabric sheets only, coffee, and then she also noted that you need a container and put it in the freezer to kill all of the spores. Excellent recap, Miss. Oh, wait a minute. I think it was yeah, that's just her name on there is a little bit different. Now, here's what I will tell you about that, all of those methods. What I ended up doing is I have it's probably 4 or 5 inches deep plastic container with a lid. In that plastic container, I have, maybe it's deeper than that. No, I have like a flat that you would put like 6 packs of pop in, like to put a case of pop in. And what I did is I put kitty litter in the bottom of that with the baking soda and Pet Fresh. And then I put, what did I put in there? I think parchment paper. And then I do have some of the dryer sheets. And, you know what I didn't plan? Well, that's okay. This white can be fine. Okay, so we got that on there. It doesn't fit perfectly. It's a little bit off, but I'm all right with that. Now let's try one of these and see what happens. And then I have Ziplocs in there as well, because sometimes what happens, especially if you're putting a whole book in there, all of that, like the baking soda gets in there, and it, when you take it out, you have a little substance in it. So if you ever get a book for me that's been in that concoction, you will know. And just be sure to know that weird substance is in there. It's just baking soda. But I didn't want the cat litter to get in any of the magazines or books or whatever papers that I had. So I do keep that kind of separate from the rest. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this down flat so we have the best opportunity to get it straight and on there neatly. And like I said, I'm probably going to have to cut this off. Yes, I am. I'm way off on that, but I'd rather have cut these in advance than do each one separate and then try to put them on there. Efficiency is important, right? Even though I just messed up. Okay, now let's see if this is even, that looks pretty good. I'm kind of liking that. Let's do a little bit of zhuzhing. So those are my tips. If you haven't watched that video, you just got a little Cliff Notes version of what I've done. What else should we... a lot of you commented on the... I've got my iPad over here so I can be reminded. A lot of you commented on the... hold on. What's my passcode? Hold, please. On the video where I did the how to turn envelopes into a journal. And it is very, very easy. Now, I might not have explained myself quite well enough. So some of the comments that I got from you, first of all, thank you, Susie Allen, for saying, I did this for my very first journal, and it's easier than it looks, folks. Which made me think, oh gosh, maybe I totally made it more difficult. Carol at Crinkle Pass said, tricky but doable. Can't wait to see it decorated. And I have not decorated it yet. And Tammy Renee Walker said, I'm looking forward to trying this. However, are you sure this is beginner level? I can assure all of you that it is way easier than it looks. I promise you that. What I will tell you is, and I think I said this in my response to Tammy, is just don't overthink it. Just play with those envelopes. You don't have to follow exactly my lead and how I did it. Just go for it. I mean, it really, you might come up with a whole bunch of unique ideas yourself that I didn't show you, just by, tucking envelopes in here and there and just trying it out. So if you have, but I will tell you, the one thing I can assure you is it makes an extremely sturdy journal, especially when you start adding, you know, paper or collage or whatever it is to the top of it. It's durable, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's not as stressful as you might think. It is very, very easy. I'm liking this a lot. I'm not gonna cut it or fold it until I put another. Let's see. This is gonna. Okay, so I want to make sure that the color is. Let's do this one. This one looks good. So that, I assure you, it's much easier. See, now these are not exactly the right width, but oh well. And if you wonder, I'm doing, why I'm gluing on some papers and gluing on the actual booklet in some cases, those flaps, it's just easier to ink all of that and then put it on so that it kind of stays straight. But if you ever find, I mean, they make these like coupon books and recipe things, and this one just happens to be Dave Ramsey. Hang on, I got to pull this down so I can see. Budget book, you know. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the other comments that I got a ton of response to was my latest Bolo books, where I talked about the uppercase Notions book. I think it was Notion. Yeah. And if you don't know who check out that video. I think if you whether you're someone who likes to use those types of books for your art, or if you are a collector, they are very spendy. So I would tell you that, you know, keep that in mind. But almost everyone's like, oh my gosh, these books are gorgeous. And they absolutely are stunning. So go check them out. I have several Bolo book. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see how long I'm taking here. But I'm just going to put these in here and then maybe start. Did I do enough? I sure hope so. Have a look at them. Now, I actually use mine for my art. However, with that caveat, I will tell you, there is one that I will never use, and that is my feed sack one. And so what is happening is they want to, you know, Uppercase is a privately owned publishing company, and they are working. They know there is a wish that they came, that they reprinted the feed sack, and it's called the Encyclopedia of Inspiration, that they would reprint that. So they're doing kind of like a crowdfunding thing. I got an email about it a while back. And so you can go and basically order that book. I think I'm going to ask for it for my birthday maybe, and send them the link. We use Giftful in our family. And if you don't have that app, it's not sponsored. I'm just telling you that we use it for birthdays, and it's just nice when the kids see something that they would like and want, that they just put it on there. And then that way I always have kind of a running idea list when a special occasion is coming up. So we use Giftful. And so I think I'm going to put that on my Giftful wish list for my birthday. And then that way, if anybody wants to buy it for me, they have it on there. But that one, I want to be able to use one in my art. And I have a collection of vintage feed sack, and I love all of the information. I did an entire video where I talked about what is feed sack and how to identify it and all of the good things, which was probably one of my most favorite videos I've ever done. And so I don't want to use the one I've got, but I I would like to use one. And I know that's kind of a spendy thing to be using, but you know what? For the love of art, for me, it's worth it. So, and if I get one for my birthday, then I have one on my shelf. All the other ones, I'm not going to lie, I use. Because they're not as as near and dear to my heart. I know our friend Hazel at Hazel and Naka Design, she makes it, you know, she gasps a little bit whenever I say that. Sorry, Hazel. Wow, that looks crooked. Like when I cut the paper, it looked like I must have been off on that, but oh well. There we go. So this isn't taking up too much space. I mean, making it like really thick, so that's a good thing. Let's see if I have some more that I can share with you. And you, please let me know in the comments whether you like this. Like if I'm doing some kind of a mundane project like sticking and gluing, there's nothing I dislike worse than having nothing to talk about and having you guys just watch me glue onto a piece of paper. So hopefully this kind of offsets just the mundane process. Oh, one other thing, speaking of that, your suggestions. I did ask a question about when I do hauls, if you like to see me do, like, take something and do a tutorial on that video, or do you like that I talk about what we could use things for and then do a tutorial? And I think the consensus was you enjoy me showing the hauls and then doing a separate video where I use said items. So I will continue to do it that way. See, ask and you shall receive, right? This goes much faster when you're just doing it this way, BT dubs. Am I at the end? Heck yeah. Let's see, how long have we been going? Only 32 minutes. Wow, I can glue and stick stuff together pretty darn fast. And spend a lot of time talking. Let's talk again about things that are going on. Let me see, is there anything else that I noted here that I wanted to bring up? Tammy Renee Walker said she wants to see that spiral bound journal. See, I think I should do that too. That was on one of my hauls. That was some time back, but there were just things I had been kind of noting, things that I wanted to mention, and I hadn't got to it yet. So I will start doing that, you know, maybe once a week, or if I'm doing a project like this, I'll try to do it. All right, we got all those done. Now we need to do all of these. I like this. I want to do a few more with you because I want you to see kind of what it's kind of looking like by the time we get done. Okay, so now for these, I'm going to do this right on here. What else? Yeah, I had a lot of comments on that Bolo books, which is not surprising because, I mean, they do it right. Oh, and speaking of Hazel wanted to note that I did a video where how I use my fussy cuts. And if you've been watching for a while, you know that's not one of my favorite things to do. And she wanted to make sure that I knew that this was proof positive that I actually do fussy cut. And I do, but it's one of those things. I'm not going to just sit down normally at my, you know, in my craft room and fussy cut. Not happening. But I do keep things that I want to fussy cut in a bag, and it's in my traveling craft bag. And then I, on occasion, I will, you know, if we're watching a football game or hanging out with the family, I will bust it out then. Not very often. More so, ooh, why is that? I guess it's okay. Now I need to go back and see that? It kind of had a little I don't know how that happened. Weird. Let's cut this off. But mostly I do it when I'm on the road. If I'm in the car, I have a tray. Yeah, I like those trays. I have a vintage tray that I just keep in the car. By the way, life hack. My mom and dad do this all the time, and I should put 2 of them in there, one for Dave and one for me. But when my parents are on the road, they both use those, and they put the tray on their laps. When they are eating on the road, whether they're bringing their food with them or if they stop somewhere to eat at a Chick-fil-A and spend $30. And it works remarkably well. But I use mine mostly for crafting. You can just stick it under your seat, in the back, and those in the seat pocket or whatever. And then I just lay everything out, and I always have some Ziploc bags, several, because it helps me if I put, if I'm doing one book and maybe I have a magazine and maybe I have words or they're in categories, why not just organize it as you go, right? So that's what I do. There's my other tip of the day. Okay. Do this. Oh, I thought, well, let's see what's underneath it. Nope, we don't want to use that one. We'll do this. I'm just kind of trying to see what I have, so it kind of, yeah. So when you do this, pull it out, because I did score each one of these when I did them, so that was why I was off on those other ones. Oh, I'm loving this little cutie patootie. Hope you guys don't mind that I'm doing this and I'm just kind of gluing. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe you guys all like to, sometimes, well, for doing it is very cathartic. Just, this would be so cute to do a collage on too. However, I think it would take way longer, because it did not take me very long to cut these out. Now notice when I'm doing this, I'm laying each one of these flat because I don't want that bulk to get in the way of what I'm doing here. So let's pick this one first. We'll do this one. Let's see. What else do we have? So yes, please, I love your comments. I hope this encourages you to leave some questions and comments so that I can answer those. And then each time you watch the video, you're not just getting a tutorial or a... I tend to do, if you are new to the channel, I tend to do a lot of, I just have these random ideas and I decide to try something, or I've picked up something unique at a estate sale or thrift store, kind of like this, and I want to try it and bring it to you. Maybe I've seen another creator that's done something cool and I want to try it. At least for the first part of this year, I'm not going to do probably any huge, one of the things I enjoy doing are what I call exploding journals. And they're pretty time intensive, and I do them all spiral bound, or ring bound, I should say. So I probably will be doing some smaller one signature journals. And I'll put those on the Maker's Market. As I create them, and I'll let you know on here. But what I really love to do is do tutorials that you can then use in your art projects. So if you want a one-of-a-kind journal by me, you can get those on the Maker's Market. And, some of them are pretty humongo, which is what I love. I love the exploding journals. And then I'll be adding some, because I don't have a lot of small journals. I've sold most of my small journals, but I have a few that are large that I have not sold yet, and I do not want to make more until those are sold. So, well, that's my story. So if you, why am I saying so much? I don't know. If you just want a little inspiration on different kinds of projects, or maybe just thinking a little, looking at things a little bit differently on how you can use things in your journal, you've come to the right spot. And I have made the playlist a little more simplistic to find. So there's, one on tags, one on journal cards, one on pockets. I am going to do one on page layouts shortly. I have one for all wallpaper projects. One, ooh, that's Cricut at the bottom. I have one that is sewing notions. Those are two of my favorites, the sewing notions and the wall. I love playing with wallpaper. But all you need to do is just go to my channel, the front page of my channel, The Traveling Crafter, and then you can find all of it. Go to playlists and voila, boom diggity. You know what I think would be cute on this too, which I will do off camera. Don't you think I need to do a little sewing on the flaps? I think so. Let's do that. There we go. Now we're going to fold. I probably should wait until it's a little more dry, but we only have 2 more of these to put down. That's pretty quick. Quick like a bunny. The other thing is that if you don't know and you're new, I'll tell you a little bit about my schedule and what happens on during that schedule. I was posting every single day, and I've done that for a couple of years. And I realized with my travel schedule, with my kids, with family, just with life, I needed to change things up. Now I'm doing still the same amount of videos, but I'm kind of, what do I want to say? Spacing them out, if you will, so that I have a little wiggle room. So you will see videos scheduled every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they will be some type of art video. Whether it be, paper craft. I always say, I do love to do other DIY projects. I haven't done a whole lot on here. But maybe I will this year. We'll see. I love to do assemblage. I've done a couple of videos on that. And on Sundays, those are reserved for haul videos. So on Sunday, you can probably be assured that there'll be some kind of haul video. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, on Tuesday, every Tuesday, my friends Carol at Crinkle Path and Sandy Wilhelmina Junk Journals do a live sale, and we often have guests that come on and we sell. And we sell our handmade goods, our vintage finds, antique, new, and vintage books that you might want to use in your art. Anything craft related. Well, she gone. We went through that whole glue stick. Okay. And it's a lot of fun. It's a fantastic community. And I have to say, we have some of the finest friends out there that come every week and hang out with us. You don't have to be, pressured to buy. It's just a fun place to hang out. And then I also, as well as many of the creators that are on YouTube that do arts and crafts, also sell on the Makers Market. And that could be anything from, what we do in paper crafting to crochet, jewelry, woodworking, 3D printing, handmade t-shirts and such. But it's anything that is handcrafted or found that could be used as a craft supply. Anybody is welcome. The coolest part about that is that it's really, and it was the important, I'm cutting around this. Sorry, I got it. My eyeballs can't see if I don't look closely off camera. It's just a community and a place for all of us to come together, no matter what kind of artistry we do, and have a good time. Oh my goodness. I am loving this. Now, it's not totally dry. Let's find where's the front and the back? There we go. Okay, let's see how thick it got. Now, of course, it's going to get thicker when we're going to put things in it. And I probably could have used my bone folder and will probably do that. But look how cute this is. Okay, so this is how thick it ended up being. Not too shabby. Wasn't that easy peasy? Okay, so here's my front cover. And then each of the envelopes. Oh my gosh. You know what else this would be really fun to do with? If you did this for a birthday card, like, let's say, well, there's 8 in this pack. Let's say you have a child or that turned 8. Or, I don't know. Or you just, doesn't really matter. And you just put like a little gift card or a little, you know, or money in each one. Or coupons to say, this is good for. That would be cute as a gift. A few little ribbony bits on there. Yay! Loving it. And I'm okay with the fact that it's not, that flap is white on the top. I think that's overkill if I would have done more. Love it. And I love this paper. Oh, you know what this paper is? And can you believe I even used it? This is a Daisy D paper. One of my favorite paper companies that I believe is no longer, I don't think it's around anymore. And, which makes me kind of sad. However, I've been able to find it here and there. And I did buy some Christmas paper, which is my absolute favorite, from Sandy at one of our live sales. I actually gasped when I saw her showing it. I was so excited. But this is a Daisy D paper. Yep, not hoarding, using it. I hope you enjoyed that, and that you weren't too annoyed with my ramblings and rants. Ramblings and rants. That's actually, but I'm not really much of a ranter. But that Chick-fil-A, I got a chicken bone to pick with them, I tell you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today. We will talk to you next time. Until then, as always, remember to take some time for you to just be, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.